right, and we are live. Hello, 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 hello. Okay. Got a little tongue tied there, but oh goodness, I was not trying to take a little nap, but I did. But I'm going to be before you kind of quickly because I'm on my way to the donut factory, okay? And I want to come to you guys now because there's something that has just happened over the weekend. And I was hit with this thing yesterday waiting for me. It came to me in a envelope, okay, with initials on it, DT. I'm like, oh, okay. I was waiting for me, and I got this letter, okay, that is apparently it's an anonymous letter, but I wanted to share this with you because looking at this, honey, we got trouble, more trouble than we can imagine, because this here is from, according to how it's signed, it says several members from your dedicated staff. This here is from the staff of College Park City. Okay, so if you don't mind, I'm going to read this because I want you guys to hear this. I don't know how many people have gotten a hold of this. As I said, it was waiting for me in an envelope, honey, with my initials on it. So apparently, somebody know where I stay, um, and this, that, and the third, right? So let's do this. Wait a minute, I'm gonna turn my light on here so that I don't have to put on my glasses. Okay, which is what I need to start wearing anyway because I'm getting a little older, honey, and yeah, okay. But wait a minute, I'm gonna turn on the light. Here we go. All right, and this reads July 15th, 2025. Dear Mayor Motley Broom, Mayor Pro Tem McKenzie, and Council Members Arnold, Karn, and Gay, your staff wants to know why we are all required in Bold Ink to perform our duties for all of the City of College Park based on our experience and certifications, and you hire a city manager with no clue about running the operations of the city. It's a joke in College Park. She is not qualified to manage the fire department or police department or parks and rec or the arena or convention center or manage a multi-million-dollar budget. She has no knowledge of running government operations. None, all caps, exclamation points. Okay, people are asking how did she get the job? Inquiring minds want to know. What are you thinking? Question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point times six. Okay. She has asked us everything because she knows nothing, and that is not fair to us to have to do her job. Everyday things that a city manager should know. Everyday things that a city manager should know. She is being paid a whole lot of money, more than us. Where is the substance? What are the plans for the operations of College Park? She has none. We look at each other in meetings and just shake our heads. She is skating and just wants to skin and grin and take pictures. She is on a celebrity tour while we are working. She's been here for how long? And now a meet and greet so she can get to tell us again that she cares and what her parents did. And we all know that Dr. Adadarian went to the field on Friday and she's acting like that idea was hers. Come on. You are all smarter than that. Scheduling our photographer to take photos is the main focus every day. We could all sit back and do nothing every day. She would know the difference. Taglines and smiles don't get the job done. A city with a convention center, rec centers, police, fire, utilities, public works, finance, airport, etc., and you hire a person who is all about cameras and news articles? Yet, We, the worker bees, are required to bring experience and knowledge to our jobs, and we are making a whole lot less. Well, we just wanted you to know that we are watching the Dog and Pony Show, and you need to wake up and pay attention. Do you need a camera crew following you around to watch public works make repairs? Or while you hug a dog? Cut it out. We have a city to run. Respectfully, several members of your dedicated staff. Wow. Okay? Now, I'm bringing this to y'all here because, darling, like I said, this came to me. I don't know how many other people got it. I don't, honey. I'm assuming that, okay, of course, that the elected body got it because it's addressed to them. But, honey, I don't know. I don't know. I've been in Covington all weekend, honey, so I don't know. Okay? But what I do know is this. If this is the staff talking, okay, if this is the staff talking, then we have major problems in what we want to deal with, okay? I'm still set up and fed up and upset about the fact that we had this whole meet and greet for a city manager, okay? I still need to do an open records request because I want to know how much money was spent on lamb chops or whatever else that they had, okay? Because I'm concerned about that. I'm very concerned that the watchdogs, honey, who love to talk about how much money we spending and how much stuff is unnecessary, we have already introduced her at several different meetings and carried on across the city. Why did we need a separate meet and greet the city manager? Okay, we haven't done that with anybody else. We didn't do that when anybody else got a job. And why is it that we still calling her the city manager? Why was this a meet and greet the city manager and she's not even hired to be the permanent city manager yet? That's the problem that's bothering me. We are going through these actions and carrying on as if this woman is the permanent city manager. Now, Lindell, what's the Lindell's last name? I can't think of it right now. And this here is not against her personally. Okay? I don't want to attack her personally because she's a very sweet woman. Okay, the one, two times I've been around her, I've not been around her or in her presence as the interim city manager. I've not been around her yet. Okay, I met her when she was our procurement director. Okay, or procurement officer. Okay, at the Ward 1 citizens meeting that Mayor Pro Tem 2025 had. Okay, at that time, right? But she's a wonderful woman. But professionally and business wise, I'm not having the fact that we have jumped on the bandwagon, and yet folks are sitting up there. I want us to get her credentials. Okay, y'all sit up there and lambasted Dr. Adadaran. Y'all lambasted him. Okay, because y'all wanted to make sure that y'all talked about his credentials, this, that, and other, and now we have someone who has no record, no experience, no classes or anything that says anything about city management. Okay, now you know someone who does. That is upsetting me that every time we turn around, he is not being looked. He's being ignored, except for one time. He stepped in one time and I thought he was fantastic. I was like, oh wow. Then I find out that he's certified. He has went and got his certificate to be a city manager, and that there is Michael Hicks, our IT director. He is more than capable of handling the job. He is more than capable of being able to run the days, to carry on. We've seen him do it. However, it has been brought to my attention that every time that Miss Lindale, honey, has been to be away, that instead of calling on Michael Hicks, she calls on the chief of police to stand in her place and run the city. Really. So we have some discrepancies here. And you just heard this that the staff is feeling as though they have to do her work. The staff is saying this. Why is it that we got to do her work? Okay, and this is supposed to be stuff that she's supposed to be knowing every day, right? And let me go back because I know a while ago I had said something that I need to correct because I thought that Dr. Adadiran had gotten hired down in Stockbridge or whatever, and come to find out, he did not. And I was like, whoa, okay, I thought he did. I had been praising him and carrying on and blah, blah, blah. Well, apparently, part of the decision for them not to hire him is because College Park residents, how about that? College Park residents had gotten together and called down there to Stockbridge and made demands that Stockbridge not hire him and did their little ones and twos, honey. And their calls and their harassment and this, that, and the other has was part of the reason he didn't get that job. Now, how funny is that? Because it is said that our interim city manager was fired from Stockbridge, and yet we hired her here as the interim. I'm trying to make it make sense somewhere. Okay, I need that to make sense. Why would you guys get into his personal life like that and want to get on to y'all have interrupted this man and y'all have made it to where he is not supposed to have a life anymore, not supposed to take care of his family, and this, that, and the other. And if you felt that way, okay, fine. But what gave y'all the inclination to call his prospective employer and do all of this stuff that legally, you know, there's some kind of legal record, something about that, because even with when they do a background check or whatever, there's certain things that jobs are not supposed to ask, employers or whatever, because that there is unethical and I believe it's illegal. So I can only imagine what unsolicited reports have done and what y'all may have said to get that man to not be hired. So he wasn't hired. And that there, if y'all are that petty, if you guys were quote unquote that upset at his work or mad at the fact that he has a lawsuit. Well, I don't know if it's a full lawsuit. I know he had put ethics complaint in against Motley Broom. But whatever that is, how and why did y'all up there and let yourselves get that far in and get in his business like that? So y'all nosy as hell. You're nosy, and that had nothing to do with y'all. Nothing. Not one thing. Not one iota. Now, if y'all want to sit up there and keep a man from getting a job, where are you to make sure that the positions that we have here that need to be filled, where are you at least bringing somebody in to fill out an application, to have an interview so that we can get quality people up in here? For those of you who did not believe in Adadarin, for those of you who felt like y'all could do a better job, where is your application? Where is your appointment to come and meet with city manager and carry on, the interim city manager, so that she can interview you for these positions? See, what is our focus, children? What is the focus of all of this? The employees are screaming. The employees are screaming. And at this particular point, according to what I know the bylaws and the charter should be, as far as hiring and firing and carrying on is concerned, honey, the council is responsible for the city manager. The city manager runs the city, so everybody else, are hired and fired under the city manager. But when you got an upset to where your employees are saying something wrong with management, they need to go, we have a problem. Especially if you're going around taking this thing and making copies to hand this to whoever you handed it to, outside of those who are addressed. I'm not supposed to have this. But I'll tell you why I think I got it, because they knew I was going to do this. See, come and bring it to you, the people, and the citizens and the residents and the stakeholders of College Park, to let you know that the people are unhappy. Of course, nobody can put their names down there because it's because of retaliation. Because y'all want to throw up there, okay, Georgia is a right to work state and this, that, and another. 48 of the 50 contiguous states in the United States are right to work. Okay, so they can fire you at any given reason, at any given time. Don't have to necessarily give you a reason, but they put something down on the books to keep them from being sued, supposedly. Okay, and if you're crafting them, you can get around it. Here, employees are upset. And the way how this is sounding, if we don't do something quickly, honey, we'll have less than that because nobody's going to sit up there and do somebody else's job all the time. Okay, unless it's a coin involved. You want me to do all of this, honey, you're going to have to pay me more than that because now you want me to do two and three different jobs. Okay, that's in addition to what's on my job description. No, honey, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Okay, for those of y'all concerned about the welfare of our College Park employees, y'all keep talking about how the council is an upset, how the council is bringing about a hostile work environment. These children say it's the city manager, the interim city manager. That's what the children say. So now, what are we going to do about it? Hmm? I'm creating this. Today's date is August 18th, 2025. Happy birthday to Sarah Dash, formerly of LaBelle, honey. Today would have been her 80th birthday. That's my big sister. My big sister slash TT, honey. That's my big TT. Happy birthday, Sarah. Oh, God. And also Daryl. Hey, Daryl. He passed on too. Um, but what are we going to do? If the employees are not happy to go this far to write a letter like this and send it out to different people anonymously, the morale is low. Okay, something is wrong and we need to fix it before the city implodes on itself. What are we going to do, people? I want to hear some of your ideas, some of your thoughts, some of your get how you on your ones or twos about this. Huh? See, right now there needs to be an employee meeting, apparently, that's closed to the public. This needs to be an employee meeting that the city manager needs to sit down with all of them and like, okay, we need to come together and talk. Okay, talk so that we can get something out in the air. Okay, we still got department heads that don't have heads. I mean, departments without department heads. Okay, department heads without heads. Okay, I said that. Maybe it's supposed to come out that way. Okay. But let's look at that. Let's look at that, people. We can't have the council and the mayor at odds, and they yet the worker bees are at odds too. That is a combination for destruction in the whole city. Huh? Has anybody paid any real idea to that? Okay, I want us to really, 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 really look at that and to really sit, what does this really mean? Tonight is a council night, and I'm sure I bet you I'm not gonna be there because I got to go to the donut factory, but I'm watching. I know somebody gonna bring this thing up because somebody else had to guide it, and if they don't, then you heard it here first. Okay, something has got to be done because we let too much get by the wayside. We let too much go by the wayside. We let too much go by the wayside. We let too much go by the wayside. Now I'm gonna talk about this bida meeting in a minute. I'm not gonna do it right now because I got to get up out of here. I wanted to read the letters of why I come from the computer first because I couldn't read this and drive at the same time. I may come back in the car on my way to the donut factory because I need to understand a couple of things about this bida thing because see I was on the board when they got rid of Dr. Sabrina Willis. I was there. Okay, I know my vote was not to do it, but I forgot if it was a straight out no or if I had abstained. I believe I was a straight out no because I think it was my motion to keep her. Okay, I have to go look at the minutes, But I remember that campaign, and no, I thought that, she should at least have waited out her turn because she was appointed. Okay? So we got illegal stuff going on the boards, and then come to find out they done kicked off this person, kicked off this person, and we're looking at stuff, and it was done illegally. We got to get this together, y'all. We really and truly got to get this together. I went to a town hall meeting yesterday that Pastor Wallace and Brother Stanley Muhammad had hosted. That was very powerful because we had a testimony from a business owner in Ward 4, Mr. Rogers, um, Robert Rogers, I think that's his name, of Rogers Automotive, right there in the Jamestown Plaza area, and how he has been uh, toyed with and has been harassed by Councilman Gay. He told his story, and honey, I became infuriated because it doesn't make any sense that we are targeting black businesses and carrying on, and our business community is what kept us afloat during the doggone pandemic. If our businesses have not had the ingenuity and the creativity to get DoorDash done, to do this and to do that, they had to come up with different ways of how to deal with people during that pandemic. The businesses kept College Park alive. Our businesses did that. And we have a councilman who blatantly goes after and target a business. How does one find out that after 23 years of business, you've been paying taxes and business taxes, fed into this economy and into this community, and now all of a sudden, after 3 or 4 different times that code enforcement come out there, cited you for violations, you fixed that. Cited you for 7 more, you fixed that. The first one he said he had 9 violations, they fixed that. He had 7 more violations when they came to re-inspect. He fixed that, and now all of a sudden y'all gonna tell this man that his business is illegally operating after 23 years. Now all of a sudden he's in illegal business. Mm-mm. Something is rotten in that cotton. Something is rotten in that cotton, and all that smells like, it smells like it's personal. It smells like it is corruption at its grandest and its finest. And why? Because at any time, one of the things about power is that when folks get power, which is why I am so that way with it when it comes down to it, because it's easily abusable. Folks can easily abuse power, and then they get the big head and think that because they're able to do X, Y, and Z, they can take their personal gripes out on it and do ABC. Okay, that there is not how we ought to be doing business here in College Park. And as long as everything is in order, as long as the paperwork is in order, as long as this is in order, as long as that's in order, we should be able to make sure that the businesses have time to thrive. Stanley Muhammad just said that his restaurant and the Torchlight Community Center that he has, their last day is going to be August 29th because they had to go to court, they had to this, they had to that. Code enforcement that came out said they ain't got the right codes and blah, 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 blah. They've been harassed. Now he says that even after they came to a settlement or whatever, something else came up and they just decided they're going to give up the building. So we have another business that's about to shut down temporarily while he trying to find a new business, a new home, because why? We having folks harassing these people. That's not cute. That's not cute at all. And we need to do better than that. And we want this city to thrive. How are we going to get economic development coming in? And we're going to sit down there and punish the citizens and the businesses because we got a personal gripe about something. That's not cute. That's not cute at all. And so on that, I'm going to leave this here because I got to get ready to go. And we'll check again soon. I want you to put in the comments, honey, what y'all going to do? Huh? What y'all gonna do with the letter? Y'all can say it's fake all you want to. All I know is I got it. I'm not supposed to have this. Okay? I'm not supposed to have this, but I got it. Waiting on me in an envelope, child. Huh? How many other people got this letter? How many other people are going to speak out about it? Huh? How many more? What are we going to do? Because now the staff that y'all kept saying that we got a council that is creating hostile environments and carrying on, but the staff is saying it is the damn city manager that y'all done put up in here. That's the interim that don't know her job. What we gonna do? Answer that question. I'll talk with y'all in a minute.